Liverpool 4, Newcastle 1. A great night at Anfield for those in red. Liverpool finally win a Premier League game in January. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around the not-so-instant match reaction to Liverpool's 4-1 victory at Anfield last night against Newcastle in what was easily the best performance of the season by Arne Slot's men. It didn't exactly start off well, but that goal that Anthony Gordon did score to break the deadlock seemingly awoke Liverpool. It awoke Anfield, and from there it was Liverpool's game all from that point till the final whistle. It was a fantastic performance, full of great football, full of chances, full of opportunities, and Liverpool's clinical nature was on full display after a brace from Hugo Ekitike, a Florian Wirtz arrow into the corner, and then a very emotional goal from Konate, who also had an absolute monster of a game in which he was absolutely imperious throughout. We're going to be talking about the performance, the result, and everything else that goes along with that. But before we go any further in discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on how you thought Liverpool played yesterday, the performance, the result, and everything else in between. I'm sure will make for great and interesting reading from you guys. So please do get involved. And without further ado, we're going to get on with the video at hand. We're talking Liverpool. We're talking the 4-1 victory over Newcastle, the performance, the result, and everything else that goes along with that. First of all, like I say, best performance of the season. Liverpool were absolutely outstanding yesterday. I felt for the first maybe half an hour, things weren't exactly great. There was a little bit of tension, a bit of nervousness about not just the players on the pitch, but about the stadium as well. Newcastle were the better team in that opening half an hour. Then Liverpool started to slowly creep back into it. And then, of course, you get hit with a bit of a sucker punch. Newcastle go ahead. Anthony Gordon, very well-placed effort through the legs of Wirtz. Look, these things happen for Wirtz and for all players, not just him. So it was a very fantastically well-placed shot by Anthony Gordon. Of course, he had to keep open play goals in the Premier League for us. Because he always seems to score against us. He's just one of them players that seems to do it all the time. But no, it was a well-placed shot from Gordon, well-placed effort, and Newcastle broke the deadlock. But from that point on, it was almost like Newcastle had poked the bear too much. And what we had seen afterwards was a Liverpool side that reminded me of the Liverpool side of old, where maybe we wouldn't be great for the opening half an hour or so. But as soon as a team poked us enough, it would awaken the bear. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Newcastle poked us enough, and then as soon as Anthony Gordon scored, that was it. The bear was awoken, and Liverpool went on to take control and to dominate. And in quick succession, a double whammy, a quick fire double, whatever you want to call it, from Hugo Ekitike. Now, I am running out of superlatives to rate this guy with, to wax lyrical about this guy with, because he is absolutely insane, and I love this guy so much. Hugo Ekitike, that is it. I could have just started this video by saying Hugo Ekitike, that is all, and ended the video there, because that is basically it, man. Like, this guy is phenomenal. I compared him once before to Bobby Firmino in terms of his link-up play. I think he's got better finishing than Bobby Firmino, but he reminds me so much of one of my favourite players in Liverpool history that I absolutely love and adore this guy. His first goal, brilliant footwork by Florian Wirtz to create the opportunity. We are starting to see Florian Wirtz properly warm up to this Liverpool side, to the Premier League, to the Champions League, whatever competition he's taking to the field in. This guy is now finally warming up, and more on him obviously a little bit later on. But fantastic work by Florian Wirtz, works his way into the penalty area, and then he just has this sixth sense just to know where Hugo Ekitike is, just plays it across for Ekitike, who stabs the ball home. And it's like, these two playing on the same wavelength, on the same page, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, and I'm loving the fact that these two are finally getting an understanding, because at the beginning of the season, it looked like these two were going to clash with each other in terms of their styles of play. They were going to clash. It wasn't necessarily going to work out, but then they make it work. They get a better understanding as the season wears on, and now they are flying. Both of them, both as individuals and as a partnership. It has all the makings of what could be a very dangerous but very successful partnership for Liverpool Football Club. And then he scores a second goal. Mere seconds later, after equalising for Liverpool, he goes on and puts Liverpool ahead. Lovely bit of quick thinking from the ball boy, from Alisson. Lovely play from Kirkes into the path of Ekitike again. And the defender stands off. The defender goes, go on then, go on your left foot. Let's see what you can do with your left foot. Because he doesn't want him, obviously, to cut inside. Because that's what Ekitike loves to do. He loves to cut inside on his right foot. And obviously have a go from distance. So Ekitike goes, all right then, I'll show you. He goes down the left. But rather than hit it with his left foot, it's just a beautiful little flick with his right foot to beat the goalkeeper. The precision, the curl on it, the swerve, whatever you want to call it, into the side netting. Absolutely perfect from Hugo Ekitike. Like I say, I am running out of superlatives for this guy. This guy is just too damn good, and I am so happy and so grateful that Liverpool decided to go and get this man in the summer. Ironically, over Newcastle. Just saying, just throwing it out there. It was actually great to get another one over on these guys that have been a little bit loud to say where they are in the table. But no, look, Newcastle aren't a terrible side. Newcastle did show in that first half. They've got a bit about them. It's just, there's just a bit of a mentality block right now, or something going on in which, similarly to Liverpool, they face a bit of adversity and they crumble. And I'm surprised that Liverpool didn't crumble. We've talked about that most of this season already. Liverpool face adversity, they crumble. I thought that first goal might have done the same thing here, but if anything, the first goal actually made Newcastle crumble, and Liverpool were the ones to go, right, take the game by the scruff of the neck, pick ourselves up, dust ourselves down, and let's go again. And in the second half, it was such a brilliantly controlled performance by Liverpool, something that we have not seen from the Reds throughout most of this season. It was controlled, and we looked dangerous on the counter. And Florian Wirtz's goal really did put the game to bed, in my opinion. Again, lovely work by Liverpool to work the ball up. It was Wirtz into Salah, Salah back to Wirtz, and it is a lovely, precise finish right into the side netting. Perfect from Florian Wirtz. Perfect from Liverpool. Liverpool go 3-1 up, and that for me killed the game off. But just in case you needed a cherry on top of this particular cake, Ibrahim Konate. Now, I've been very critical of Ibrahim Konate this season, but he had an absolute beast of a performance in this game. He was absolutely incredible. There were a number of other great performances as well. Like I say, Florian Wirtz was magnificent. Ekitike was outstanding as per usual. Szoboszlai at right back, again, not his most natural position, but Szoboszlai was incredible. Kirkes was brilliant, but Konate was an absolute beast from start to finish. And like I say, he's had his critics, myself included, this season, but credit where credit is due. He was absolutely incredible, and he capped off his performance with not the cleanest of goals you'll ever see, but it had enough on the ball to get across the goal line into the back of the net, and you could just tell what it meant to him. It was such an emotional goal, obviously, with what he's been going through these past few weeks, with obviously the passing of his father. It was just such an emotional moment for Ibrahim Konate. A fantastic moment overall for him to pay tribute and everything along those lines. So absolutely incredible for Konate to not only put in that kind of level of performance, but to also get that goal that he was able to tribute to obviously himself, his family, and everybody else that has been affected by recent events. But fair play to Konate for that. But look, I don't kind of want to be negative about this. It's actually very rare that I've come on these kinds of videos and done a positive reaction. I'm happy. I'm happy with the result. I didn't think we would get a win. I'll be honest with you. I thought the best we'd probably get is a draw, considering how we've performed in recent weeks. But it's nice that we've managed to, for at least this game, carry our Champions League form over into the Premier League. Something that we very rarely do. You know, we found a system in the Champions League that works, and I think in this game especially, we really did bring that over. When we dominate possession, when we don't drop a few yards to try and counter-attack teams, we don't perform as well. So it's nice that we finally learn, oh, the Champions League system works. Let's just try and do that in the Premier League. That is what really worked. That is what really did well for us. I ask why we couldn't perform like this earlier on in the season. I don't know why. But at the same time, in saying that, look, I'm not getting too ahead of myself. Look, I understand it's a fantastic result. It's a fantastic performance. It's a big 3 points in the grand scheme of getting top 4, top 5, especially now it puts pressure on the likes of Man United to obviously go out there later on today and beat Fulham. It's a massive win in terms of that aspect. But I'm not getting ahead of myself. Look, this is always the thing with Liverpool this season. False dawns, too many false starts. We think we're going to kick on from a good result, and we never actually do that. So we've still got a long way to go. We've still got a long way to go to prove whether or not this was just a flash in the pan, a one-off game, or whether it's the real deal and now this is going to be where we kick on. And if we kick on, that's going to be great, because although the Premier League is out of our reach, obviously top 4, top 5 still remains available for Champions League places next season. But it will also do us good in the cup competitions that we are still in this season. Whether it be the FA Cup, whether it be the Champions League, they are still going to be very important for the end of this season. And if we can build up some confidence in the meantime with these kind of performances, these kinds of results, then I am all for it. But it does seem like the big players are starting to warm up a little bit in terms of Florian Wirtz, in terms of Milos Kerkez. Szoboszlai continues to be Szoboszlai. Ekitike is freaking outstanding, bro. I love him so much. I love the way that he plays. I love the way that he just is so... He's so just chill about everything. Like, there's no pressure. There's seemingly no pressure on his shoulders whatsoever. He's just super chill. He's just like, no matter what you want, no matter what you need, I'm here to provide it. You want link-up play? I've got it. You want goals? I've got it. You want assists? I've got it. Like, this guy is just so cool, and I love him so much. But yeah, Florian Wirtz is warming up. You know, it takes a lot of the weight off of the likes of Mo Salah as well. Didn't have his best game yesterday. Didn't think he was terrible. But I think what we're seeing from Mo Salah now is just an evening out. Is that good for someone who's on 400k a week? Probably not. But it takes so much of the weight off his shoulders that he doesn't need to be the main guy anymore, which is what myself and a lot of other Liverpool fans have been saying throughout most of this season. He doesn't need to be the main guy anymore. He just needs to be there to create, to obviously play his natural game. If he can get goals, great, but he doesn't need to be that main influence anymore. He doesn't need to be the guy that is like, if he's not performing, the team aren't winning. He just needs to be Mo Salah. Simple as that. But yeah, I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the performance. It makes a rare change that I'm saying that this season, because it's been very rare that I've said that. Hopefully we can kick on from here though. Hopefully we can kick on from here and continue to put together some sort of level of consistency, But yes, Liverpool finally win a Premier League game in January, at the end of January, for the first time this season. Hopefully, we can move on to other results. And guess what? We've got Man City next week. We've got Man City next weekend. So, yeah, that one's going to be interesting, to say the least. That one's going to be interesting, to say the least. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, though, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling, though. Let me know in the comments section down below what you made of the performance, the result, and everything else that goes along with Liverpool's 4-1 victory over Newcastle last night. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video / not so instant match reaction. And I will see you and speak with you all again soon in another video, or live stream, or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.